In 609 of the Reese Chronological Bible, we read from Jeremiah 27 back to Jeremiah 26, and then we continued on with 26. But it's kind of curious, and I'd made a thoughts video earlier where I was saying something about jumping back and forth, going like to the end of Isaiah, then back to the beginning, and then towards the middle, and those kind of things. Now this one might take some study and wondering actually why 27, this passage, is before 26. Because of the events that took place in 27, it definitely, if it wasn't right to be switched around, that doesn't matter if it does go together as far as the sound of it. Of course, it's all from Jeremiah and stuff. But, you know, what I mean by that is, remember I was saying when we jump from other passages like the Kings to the Chronicles to Jeremiah, it all sounds the same, you know, I mean, the way it's worded, and it's not disjointed in the way it sounds, but, you know, you just can't put events in front of others that didn't occur that way. So, thus saith the Lord to me, make these bonds and yokes and put them upon thy neck. And so who said that? At the beginning of the reign of Jehoiakim, the son of Josiah, king, came this word unto Jeremiah from the Lord, saying, thus saith the Lord unto me, make these bonds and yokes and put them upon thy neck, and send them to the king of Edom, the king of Moab, and the king of Ammonites. Okay, now that I see that again even, and I read that after having read 26, see, in 26 is where they put him into the stocks and in the bonds because of, you know, I always think of this when it comes to the prosperity gospel nonsense of what, you know, the worldly church would be telling us about these days. Yeah, that's not exactly how they would respond back then, and that's not how people, of course, will respond to the truth of God's word now. You want to go and you want to tell one of the leaders of the world now what God says, and they'll do the same thing as what the evil folks did back in the days of Jehoiakim and the folks who took over. They'll throw you in the stocks. They don't want to hear what you have to say. They'll throw you in the pit. At some point Jeremiah here will be tossed into a pit with mire, and he sinks down in, and they forget about him. But anyway, so you know, here he goes into the prison kind of a thing. Then over here, and actually, which is 27, which they have first, which I don't think is right in this case, because he says, make thee bonds and yokes and put them upon thy neck. I don't know, maybe that's the reason why they switched it around, because maybe it's, I don't know, it makes me wonder if it's saying like, you know, these bonds and all that you have. But of course, as what we read in 26, and really this is really more of the direction of this thoughts video I'm finally getting at. Well, I mean, he hadn't been actually tossed in prison yet. But I want to tell you what 26 reminds me of, and maybe I ought to make a separate thoughts video so you can ponder what I'm just talking about, and maybe even study. You know, go back in and look at these two passages and then respond to me on this video and say what you think. Okay, I'm going to leave it be at that. I'm going to make another thoughts video in regard to Jeremiah 26 as a standalone. Okay, so this thoughts video, once again, was curiosity of whether 27 should have been placed before 26 in that portion that we read. So go back through, listen to it again if you haven't already, or listen to it if you haven't already the first time, and then ponder these thoughts that I'm passing along now, and see as you hear what you think as far as whether or not 27 should have been placed before 26.